Hi, guys. I'm still like getting things together. Hi, guys. It's so good to be back. I mean, I guess I'm not like 100% back, but this is better than nothing, right? Hi, guys. Say hi when you come in. I want to know who's here. Good morning. Hi, Melissa. I am good today. Hi, Diane. Hi. I'm going to let everybody know how I'm doing in a couple of minutes. We're going to let people come in and get settled. Good morning. Yeah, it's been a minute. I mean, it's been a minute since I've done a live, much less a video for you guys at all. I'm excited. I'm going to give you guys updates. I just don't want to have to repeat myself because that's like the least fun, especially when you're going through something really big and you have a lot of people to keep in the know all the time. It just is like, I'm tired of talking about myself, but I will for you guys for a little bit. Yeah, I have been going through some things. That's why you haven't seen me for a while. It's been an interesting 2021, that's for sure. Like, I think that you could probably say this is probably the best and the worst year of my life. Like just with everything that's happened. So, yeah. Which is really interesting because 2020 was really not all that bad for me. But 2021 came in and was like, oh no. It's good to see everybody here. So if you haven't seen the back videos that I've done, I had a blood clot found in my brain in late April. And just going through that process of recovery was pretty difficult within itself. I was extremely lucky that it was caught when it was caught. And I was extremely also very lucky to have all of the doctors. The doctors are amazing. I literally have been gifted with genius doctors. I know that I've been divinely blessed because of that. So that recovery, and I'm doing really well with that. The blood clot's not gone, but obviously I'm not wearing my glasses anymore. Obviously I was using a cane. I was having to wear all the things. But now we have a second chapter to the story because now they think they found the reason why I got the blood clot to begin with. And I don't know all the details, so I'm not really going to go into that, but I did have to have a bone marrow biopsy done this week, which it was the worst thing that I think I've ever had to. I'm like, that is not fun. So, but I don't have the details of that. So I don't really want to I don't really have any expectations of what's going to happen with that. It's been, hi guys. So good to see everybody. Hi Cal. Wasn't sure if he was going to be able to even make it. So obviously I'm doing better. I'm feeling a lot better. We still have some things that we got to go through. So I'm not 100% back to work yet, but I'm slowly kind of making myself back in. Obviously, my energy and my health and how I'm feeling on a day-to-day basis absolutely 100% has to come first. But I miss you guys. I really do. Like, I was really exhausted towards like when I first started getting really, really sick. I was so exhausted and it was making me angry to do work because I was so tired. And I was like, I just don't want to have to work. And so not only did this give me a really big break, but it also made me realize just how much I love what I do and just like how much I miss it sometimes. So yes, it's good to be here. Oh, you are? Lisa, okay, so if you're listening or watching in the car, could you please not text at the same time? Because I don't want you to, unless you're like not driving, but I'm assuming that you are. So please don't drive and text. I can't even imagine like if something were to happen to somebody and they were texting in one of my chats. Anyway, so we're here to talk about this Capricorn moon. I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology. And then we're going to get into the cards too. We're going to get into some cards too. If you haven't heard, I do have another channel that's actually featuring a podcast on Fridays. Sometimes it's not every Friday. I do as much as I possibly can on Fridays, but it's called the Love Soul Movement podcast. The link is going to be in the description box of this video. If you guys could go over there and subscribe, it's really cool. We're talking about how to love ourselves, like how to truly, honestly love ourselves without the ego part, and doing better in relationships, starting with ourselves, having a better relationship with ourselves and stuff like that. And it's something that's been very close to my heart for a long time and really got to develop this year. So go check out my new special project that I got to start while I was on bed rest through all of this, which was really fun. And I'm also doing a little bit of Hey Hero stuff. If you haven't heard of Hey Hero, you can go over there and request a 1-question reading. I have an introductory offer of $20. All of that information is in the description box. So $20 for 1 question. That introductory offer, I think it's over in like a month and a half. After that, the price will go up. So, and I haven't had $20 readings since I started reading like almost 4 years ago. So this is that's kind of a big deal to be able to get a $20 reading. So take advantage of that. And I love that I'm able to offer that kind of stuff. So hi, Sil. Love to see everybody here. I really, really did just totally miss you guys. So this Capricorn full moon is going to be a really interesting one. What's really cool is, so today we have the sun trining Jupiter and we have Venus opposing Pluto, and we also have Saturn sextiling Chiron this whole week doing that. So there's this really big responsibility of creating like this value system for ourselves and making sure that we're not doing it through the ego desires and not doing like really getting into that inner child mode and being like, what is it that I need to do to make sure that I'm taking care of my inner child? People like in natal charts that have Saturn aspecting Chiron in any way, like I have Saturn trining Chiron, but those people are basically like their own disciplinarians in life. And they don't really remember their childhood because they were always kind of a tiny adult, even when they were children. And they probably are the ones, like I've said my whole life, like I don't remember a time I wasn't taking care of myself. So with having Saturn sextiling Chiron, it's really giving us an opportunity to take responsibility for our own trauma. Not that we need to forgive the people that created that trauma for us, but we can accept it and we can allow ourselves to heal regardless of who, what, when, where, why, all of that stuff. Oh, your chat is it the building that you're in, Cal? Yes, please. Everyone hit the like button. That would be awesome if you could as you come in. So we're getting this opportunity this week. And the Pluto opposing Venus today, the reason why I'm talking about the sun trining Jupiter and the Pluto opposing Venus is we're still going to have that kind of energy tomorrow. And the Saturn sextiling Chiron as well tomorrow with this Capricorn moon. And Saturn is the ruler of the Capricorn moon. So it's like having that father figure, kind of like if you're like me and you're the one that, there are so many people so many girls in my generation that have daddy issues and didn't really have that father figure to like really help guide them and have like a healthy masculine role model in their lives or anything like that. And now really is the time for you to kind of find that within yourself and be your own, because we all have that feminine and masculine side within us. And it's not necessarily, you don't necessarily need another person. It's almost like we're reparenting ourselves through the masculine energy, through the feminine energy of Venus, and the healing aspects of Chiron too. But it really is about taking responsibility for your own traumas, your own wounds, and all of that. And you sort of have this underlying, with the sun trining Jupiter, you have this underlying, like, I can do anything, anything is possible kind of energy. So if you're not able to tap into that, then that definitely means, especially right now, because that is an extremely auspicious aspect to have. Like, it's so lucky. It's so, like, so many amazing fateful events could be happening in your life right now. But if you have a whole bunch of junk on top of it that you can't like dig through and get to those really amazing aspects of your life, what's the point of having a sun trining Jupiter day? You know what I mean? It's like, so allowing yourself, and it's not the permission that you're going to get from somebody else. And that's where it was 11:11 on the clock when I said that. And that's where we have to remind ourselves, is like, so many people, especially like me, and I know a lot of other people that are learning how to reparent themselves in a conscious, loving, kind way. So this week is going to show you a lot of that. I went through my ego tantrum. Wasn't particularly proud of it, but I did go through my ego tantrum a little bit. So this week, but it made me realize I learned a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of humility yesterday. I mean, like, just so many like things that, like, why am I even wasting my energy on fighting for this particular thing? Like, there's no reason for me to be doing that. So really, yeah, like, pay attention to, hi, Janelli. I'm glad you were able to get here. So really pay attention to what it is that your inner child is telling you. And if you can't tap into that kind of energy, like, I found some baby Betsy pictures of myself earlier, maybe it was later last week. I don't know. I was going through a moment and I was organizing, and I found these baby Betsy pictures, and I was like, oh my God, let's just love on her. Like, she's so adorable. She deserved all the love in the world. So yeah, like, if you can't tap into that, like, go look at some pictures of yourself when you were a child and remember, allow yourself to go back and remember the things that you never got to have. And it's going to be emotional. I mean, it'll be okay though. Like, you'll get over it, I promise. So yeah, so interesting. This Capricorn full moon is allowing you to release a lot of stuff. So let yourself. Oh yeah, yesterday was a doozy. Hi, Eisen. Yeah, yesterday was rough. And like Monday, I was irritated and I could feel the buildup. I knew that there was going to be an ego tantrum coming out of me eventually, because I could feel that buildup coming. And now that I can like see it, I'm like, okay, I'm just prepared. I like warn everybody in my immediate radius. I'm like, listen, I might go silent. I might go crazy. I might have outbursts. I don't know what's going to happen. And then I go back and I'm like, I have to ask people, because I forget like what happens when I'm in an ego tantrum. There's like nothing else that is going on. And when I come out of the ego tantrum, it's like I wasn't even, it was an older version of me that I was letting go of, and I don't remember her anymore. So it's hard for me to remember what I said, what I did, and that's really, and it's not me not taking responsibility for things, because when I come out of it, I'm like, all right, what do I have to fix now? And so I'm trying to not let my emotions create those reactions. That's where we learn the detachment. And a lot of times when you have that ego tantrum, it's hard to forget to detach yourself from the emotional aspects. And sometimes you got to let it go and just let yourself purge and let yourself feel it all and be angry and be sad and be overwhelmed. The fact that this country is coming out of 16 months of having to be inside, you can see how angry everybody is. And all of that was bottled up, right? We saw it happen last summer where there was a big explosion, and now it's coming out and there are like shootings happening, mass shootings happening every single week. Like, okay, I think in January and February, I couldn't turn the news on without hearing about another new mass. I mean, people are angry. So reminding ourselves that we really, really, really have to like detach ourselves from that kind of baloney is, we need to be able to do that safely without feeling like I have to like shut myself down and I can't talk to anybody and I can't see anybody or anything like that. We have to feel like we can emotionally, have that safe place. Hi, Corey. Hi, Ollie. Hi, guys. I got the ego tantrum blackout too. Oh, I know. And it's so, well, and that's the thing is like I don't mean to be ignorant about it, or what I don't know if that's the right word. Like, what's that word that I'm looking for? Like, I don't mean any harm. It's all love for me, right? So when I'm in an ego tantrum and I have that blackout and there's that rage, that blinding rage that I can't see, and usually it's not at any one particular thing, it's about all the things, and you have that blackout, it's like, I really have to go back and be like, what do I need to fix now? And that's just something we just have to not be hard on ourselves. I'm reminded to not be hard on myself on a daily because I am. And Diane knows because she has a 12th house North Node as well. Like the hardest people. We are very hard on ourselves. If you have a 12th house North Node, you are harder on yourself than you are on anybody else, like ever. I watched a lady have a moment in Starbucks yesterday over how they named the sizes of their $8 coffee. Oh, see? And that's like the kind of anger that's bottled up. Like, why is everything just bursting at the seams now? Hi, Barbara. And we know why everything's bursting at the seams, but nobody's paying attention to that part. Everybody's paying attention to all the other things, but nobody's paying attention to how, like, why is there not more social community, like, gatherings where we can talk about our feelings, where we can, like, express our anger, we can express our emotions instead of judging people for how they're acting for things. And it's not like I think you're judging, Cal. I mean, I probably would have laughed too, to be quite honest. But, just it just, I don't know. Like, I went to the grocery store. This is so terrible. I went to the grocery store and I had my mask on because I haven't been vaccinated, and it's nobody's business, but I haven't been vaccinated. And this lady looked at me and she said, I tweeted this morning. This lady looked at me and she said, "Sweetie, you wouldn't have to wear a mask if you were vaccinated." And I looked at her and I said, "It's none of your damn business, but I have a blood clot disorder and I can't be vaccinated. It would harm me." And she goes, "Oh." And I looked at her like, I didn't say it, but I looked at her like, mind your fucking business. Like, it's none of anybody's business. It's none of my business whether you've been, like, imagine if I walked around going, "Have you been vaccinated? I'm immunocompromised. You better get vaccinated." The audacity that I would have to, like, say that to other people. No. That is not a country we need to have, and we have it. And that's ridiculous. I'm on a soapbox that I did not plan on getting on, by the way. Corey, there are a million people who would love to whoop our butts. We should be the ones who are kind to ourselves. Exactly. Does that mean your North Node is in air? No, because I'm a Libra rising, Janine. I'm a Libra rising. My 12th house is Virgo. So I have a 12th house Virgo North Node, along with Sun, Venus, Saturn, Lilith. I'm like, is there anything else missing out of that group of loveliness in my 12th house? If your North Node is in, it depends on what your rising sign is, basically. I guess I'll just say it that way. Okay, let's get to cards before I get back on another. So, there's a time and a place for the soapbox. I have no idea where my houses are. You do. You have a reading from me. Go back to the reading. You do. You're a Taurus rising. Oh, okay. So yeah, so the Aries would be your 12th house. So yes, your North Node is in your 12th house in Aries if you're a Taurus rising. So this is collective energy for what we're going to be doing for the Capricorn moon. Like, how is this going to be for the Capricorn moon? Well, you are absolutely right. I have a ton. If you want to email me, I will give you a list of books to help yourself learn astrology. I have them all. That's not even half of them, though, that I have. The other ones are in my room because I'm constantly reading them. Oh, I would have to go look, Lisa. I know I have your chart somewhere. This is interesting. Okay, so some of us are blocking some blessings that are, well, and see, here's the thing. It's like defensive blocking. It's like you're on the defense. You're creating boundaries for yourself. What's really interesting about this is I feel like some people still have some boundaries up that they're not really paying attention to, that are based on some traumas, but it's like they keep these boundaries up and it's literally blocking blessings from coming to them. This could be like you've had so many horrible relationships that you don't you don't want to feel that hurt and pain anymore. So you have this boundary with yourself that, like, say you're a woman and you've had a lot of really bad relationships. And so you're like, when you're out in public and stuff, and if a man looks at you, if a man says hi to you, if a man, whatever, you have this automatic trauma within you that you have this like wall up and you automatically just ignore like anything. Like you can't see if somebody is approaching you. You can't see if there's even love approaching you because you're so solid in this boundary. And that's because you're still holding on to something that needs to be healed. So we have the 7 of Wands for the first card. The next one that came out was the Knight of Cups. And then we have the Moon, ironically, since we're talking about the Capricorn full moon. But then we have, and this is so on point with all the water stuff that's going on, Jupiter in Pisces, the sun is in Cancer, Venus is in Cancer. I mean, like all the stuff, like everything, like we could, like the more we get into Cancer season, the more emotional it's going to be. So the feminine and the masculine in this reading are both showing up as water signs. So we have the Queen of Cups, we have the 6 of Cups, and we have the King of Cups. And literally it's like everything here is about the emotional part, and then there's the boundary. So there are these really deep resonating emotions and resonating feelings that you have, and you either have them, whether you're the man, you're the masculine, or whether you're the feminine. I don't want to say the man or the woman, because you could be the feminine and be the man, or you could be the masculine and be the woman. It doesn't matter, right? So regardless of what it is, there are things from your past that are coming up right now for you to pay attention to. And I realized yesterday that a lot of things that were brewing inside of me and a lot of things that I needed to purge for myself had a lot to do with where I thought I should be by now, where my recovery should be by now. And I felt like there were huge steps that I had to take backwards because there's this extra thing now that we have that has to be taken care of. And it even just thinking that because there's no such thing as going backwards. You're always moving forward, even if because it's your perception, right? Like it's your perception. If you think that you haven't done good enough and I hear people all the time say, I take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And I'm like, but how's that possible? Because you're still moving forward. How can you take any steps back? So I had to remind myself of that for sure. There's no such thing. And I've evolved so much through this that that's not even a thing anymore, right? So there's some really deep emotions, and there's this energy that wants to approach you, and you can't even see it coming, right? Because the moon is here. So what do you do with that? You have to soften the boundary. You have to become vulnerable. And I say that and people go, ugh. But I don't want to get vulnerable. Whenever I'm vulnerable, I get hurt. And that's where the discernment comes, right? That's where the detachment, that's where the discernment comes. If you aren't open to loving yourself, if you aren't open to receiving the love, if you are sitting here like this in the corner. How dare you speak to me? The audacity for you to even look my way. How is anything ever going to come into your life? You're not even keeping love away. You're keeping everything away by doing this, sitting in the corner. Right? That's what we humans are really good at. Sitting in the corner and pouting when we don't get our way. I don't know about you, but that explains me. And everybody who knows me knows that I will admit that I am like a really big. I should have the dunce cap on too when I do that kind of shit. Like, whatever. I'm a princess. I should be wearing my tiara right now. Okay, let's see what this boundary business is and how to get rid of it. Hi, Rhiannon. Rhiannon? It's Rhiannon, I'm sure. Oh, dang. See, you're even blocking the intuition. You got to open it up. Look, more water. Pisces. That Jupiterian energy of being able to connect to source. You're even blocking your connection to source when you're sitting like that. The only way you can get vulnerable is when you learn how to trust yourself. The only way you're going to learn how to trust yourself is by falling on your face and proving to yourself that you can pick yourself up and brush yourself off. And that is a Saturn trining Chiron advice since it's the sextile in Chiron. Anyways, my jokes. All right. So the High Priestess on the 7 of Wands, you got to trust your intuition. Your intuition is going to be the thing that's really going to help you be able to feel your way into that vulnerability. And if you can't feel your way into that vulnerability, then it's going to be really, really hard for you to open yourself up to love. So releasing the expectations of what that looks like and allowing yourself to be more open. There's more water. 3 of Cups on the Knight of Cups. Oh, you changed your, oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay. So the 3 of Cups on the Knight of Cups, and to me, the 3 of Cups is not about a third party situation. I know readers read that all the time. The 3 of Cups for me is about a celebration. The 3 of Cups for me is about the soul tribe. It's about you and me coming together and creating a third energy, which is source. So there's this energy that's wanting to come to you to celebrate and to come together. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a soul tribe energy. A lot of people are like, well, I don't even feel like I belong anywhere. Well, that's because you need to get to know yourself and love yourself so you can start like radiating that energy for your soul tribe. Do you know that it's like a beacon, kind of like your energy? When you get to a certain vibration with your energy, it's like a beacon. It's like calling in your soul tribe and they just start showing up. I have more people in my life that I can trust now than I ever have ever in my life. And that's because I trust myself. Granted, I have moments where I don't trust myself, but but yeah, so allowing yourself to open up to that and creating the space for things to come in for you. Vulnerability. It's not easy. It's really, really not easy. And it takes the effort of saying, okay, well, it doesn't matter whether I get angry. It doesn't matter if I get this, or it doesn't matter if I get that. Oh yeah, see? And what you're not actually seeing is that the worst is already behind you. You are going to the worst possible case scenario. That 10 of Swords is painful. There's a cycle that had to end. It sucked. Man, it sucked. But it had to happen. And the reason why it had to happen is because you needed to see through that cycle the way that you weren't showing up for yourself, the way that you weren't caring for yourself ever. And being able to see those emotions clearly, it comes after the ego tantrum. Being able to see all of that stuff clearly comes after the ego tantrum. So even though you can't see what comes after this 10 of Swords, I can 100% tell you that things, because this is like the hard stuff is over. 10 is a completion. 10 is a cycle. the worst things are over. But you also have to believe that for yourself. I can say it until I'm blue in the face to you, but until you believe it for yourself, it's never going to be true. So the feminine is finding the strength within. The strength card on the Queen of Cups. That's very interesting. As we go into Cancer season, but planets start to move into Leo. Venus moves into Leo this week. Neptune is going to go retrograde. Jupiter's already gone retrograde. There are certain things that we're really going to have to pay attention to because the reality of situations are going to show themselves, and it's going to ask for our strength to be able to face that. And sometimes it's adversity, and sometimes it's just like, okay, I see what that is, and now I know I can go this direction, right? But it's the strength, it's the trust that you have within yourself for you to even be able to see that. You can't trust your intuition. People say, I don't even know the difference between the ego and the intuition, right? What's the difference between the two? The ego is going to be really, really loud. The ego is going to be the one telling you all the ways that you can't do things. And it's going to be really, really loud. The ego is going to tell you all the things you want to hear because it's going to be really, really loud. And your intuition is that really quiet. But usually your eventually your intuition can get louder than your ego. But that's something that's practice, and it takes time to be able to cultivate that. And if you can't begin to even separate the two, it's very hard to do that. Everybody wants to be, like all this spiritual stuff is really mainstream now, and everybody wants to be like all whippy, the hippie woo-woo stuff and all that crazy nonsense. And the thing that's going to be the really big surprise for everyone is once they start showing the universe that that's the direction that they want to go, they're going to get like smacked down with some lessons, and they're going to realize that it's not just about love and light, and it's not just about like all the pretty little things, but it's also about getting to the depths of your soul and finding that vulnerability spot and learning how to be responsible and be aware and responsible for yourself. And that kind of strength is what's coming out of this energy. So 6 of Cups. The 6 of Cups is a lot about the past. A lot about the past. It could be a past love. It could be a past. It could be a past, like a soulmate type of energy. We have the King of Wands on the 6 of Cups. And then we have the Sun on the King of Cups. Remember that we had this over here. What's really interesting is this fire. I feel like the fire and the water are the same person. Some of you, it's going to be 2 different people that you're having to choose from because you're going to get 2 different offers. But for the majority of us, it's going to be the same person. And I don't even want you to try and make that fit. I don't want you to try and make it fit that, oh, yes, this person because he's this and this, or they're this and this, or she's this and this. That must be them. This is somebody that like sees the clarity, right? The Sun on the King of Cups, he's the one that sees the clarity. He can see, it's a healing energy. The Sun is the best card that you can get in a tarot reading because it represents everything. It represents who we are, like at a very deep level. It's the higher self, right? We have 2 Leo cards here. So there's this Leo type energy that we're all stepping into. And Leo is about the heart. And I mean, the 5th house, right? The passions, the creativity, all of that stuff. So allowing yourself, this could be about somebody from the past. It could be about somebody who's in the present right now, but feels like you've known them forever. I'm not going to like go any further than that kind of thing because, I mean, to be quite honest, like you can look at your life and make it about anybody if you really wanted to. But what I'm feeling is that it's about one person, and it's about 2 different aspects of that masculine energy. It's about the taking charge and the emotional. The King of Wands is somebody who knows what he wants. He, goes forward and he rules a kingdom with the energy of, I'm going to stand here and take care of you, that kind of fire. And then the King of Cups is the one that's emotional and vulnerable and open and allows themselves, especially with the Sun on the King of Cups, allows themselves to be seen in that emotional and doesn't shy away from that vulnerability kind of light. So, and what's really interesting about this reading here is this doesn't have to be a romantic with the Queen of Cups and the King of Wands and the King. This doesn't have to be a romantic thing. This can be about friendships that you've created along the way. This could be about somebody that is from the past that was a really good friend of yours and you kind of lost track and now you're sort of like paying attention. Wow, that person really showed me a lot about myself. I need to get in touch with them. Or, I mean, Mercury's direct now. We still have that shadow period, but if you're ready to start connecting with people again, if you're ready to start opening yourself and being vulnerable to things, that's okay to do that. I feel like there's a message that's coming and it's going to change everything. Okay. I also don't put the Tower energy into that doom and gloom kind of reading. The Tower energy for me is about constant evolution. And so whatever message is coming for you this week, it's about you evolving. It's about taking down whatever foundation you had built and it wasn't solid enough. That foundation wasn't solid enough. That building wasn't solid enough. That person, and it's rebuilding, right? And then you can move forward on your journey with the Chariot into the 10 of Pentacles. And that 10 of Pentacles is long-term stability and happiness and abundance. That doesn't mean that you're going to be rich. For some people, maybe it is. But that doesn't always mean like monetary values and stuff. That 10 of Pentacles looks different for everybody. So make sure, that's kind of that Venus opposite Pluto thing. Make sure that you're paying attention to what your values are, not what the world tells you what your values should look like or what your values should be. But yeah, there's definitely a message that's coming. And I think that a lot of this is nostalgia with the Six of Cups. And we also have Venus still trining Neptune at like a 3-degree orb, even though Venus is also opposing Pluto. There's still this trine to Neptune as well, which is in Pisces. So there's still kind of like a vibe that like, is this really reality? But with Neptune going in retrograde, that's going to open up the reality. When Neptune is retrograde, it's going to be a little bit more clear to be able to see the path in some things. You won't be so clouded through the veil, if you will. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. It's okay to want and desire things in your life. Just make sure that you're not going, because the universe doesn't listen to that. I'm just saying. I've tried many times to whine to the universe, and usually like the next day I get this big old, like, here's your sign, stop whining. It happens. It's never the sign that I want, though. We're going to keep this right here, but I want to see what's going on in the chat for you, with you guys, because I'm missed a lot. I love that the third energy is source. Oh, yeah. Well, and it never sat well with me for a third, like the Three of Swords, maybe a third party situation. The Three of Pentacles, like, why is this person all up in my business? But to me, the cups resonate with like your emotion, right? And this is a celebration. Like, why? This is a celebration on that card. Like, why are we saying that this is a negative? Anyway, but yeah, that's why I do that, because to me, it's about being together with the people that you love. Thank you for the insight. You're welcome. Lisa, I feel like the cycle was the immense grieving and depression I was going through for 3 weeks and kind of, oh yeah. You know, what's funny is I actually said, I think I might be depressed a couple days ago. I wasn't, I'm not. But that's what it felt like it. Because I've been clinically depressed before, like in years, decades ago. But yeah, it definitely felt like that for sure. So I'm glad that you're feeling better and you're out of that. I love the sun too. Janine, I felt that. I love the sun too. It's my favorite card. I mean, there's a little baby, like a naked baby celebrating on a horse. Like, how could you not? I am not taking personal questions. If you want to have a personal reading, again, I am doing the Hey Hero app at the, or not app, but the Hey Hero website. If you go into my description box, you can get a question for $20. It's the introductory price of $20. Thanks, Taha. But I'm not doing, this isn't for personal readings today, but thank you. Yes, this will be a replay. There will be a replay. I missed you guys. Oh, don't cry. But I miss you guys too. If you want to ask a question about the energy that's going on in the reading, please feel free to, but I'm not going to do personal readings. Definitely will have a replay. So, what is up for the future of the channel? Honestly, I have zero answers for that. I would have loved to be able to just start doing sarcastically, I would say the Hermit. That's, I mean, that kind of describes you, Cal, actually. A favorite tarot card. Cal's favorite tarot card is the Hermit. I get it. To be honest. I would have loved to be able to do Cancer readings, and I think that I may actually be doing them for the members on the website, or the Patreon members or the YouTube members. I'll probably do some Cancer, like the zodiac readings for them. I don't know what's going to happen because I don't have all the answers right now. So this is going to be like something. I hope that I can come live again in a week or so. I want to stay connected with you guys. Just got a lot going on. So if you are missing any of my readings or anything like that, the memberships are open. I'm actually doing a lot more with the memberships just because that I want my energy to be focused there right now. And you can go and subscribe to the Love Soul Movement YouTube channel to listen to the podcasts, all of the advice. Why not integrate since you already have the subs? Oh, and I don't know what you mean by that. Thank you, Kat. I appreciate that for thinking of me and sending me. So those are the ways that you can see me now. I will be back on this channel as soon as I possibly can. So, but I really appreciate you guys being here today. This was a lot of fun. From the residential school news in Canada, I feel like it was the ancestral pain I brought into this life. Thanks. I'm happy to be feeling better. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Yep. I know. I know you. Have you felt sometimes the clients you attract end up giving you messages? Oh, absolutely. That's a great question, Icing, because, and yes, absolutely, 100%. Even when it comes to the astrology clients I have, every time, like if you're a tarot reader, an astrology reader, a psychic, a medium, whatever, the clients that come to you are, they don't find you by accident. And like there are some days where I will have 2 or 3 clients in the same day. Not right now, but in the past, I would have 2 or 3 clients in the same day that would have very similar astrological charts. And I realized the placements that they had, I would like go look at my own chart and kind of see the synastry between those clients and myself. And there were huge lessons for me to learn from their chart and the way that I would interact with those certain people. And with the cards, like there are so many times, I don't know how many times I'd be recording a personal reading for somebody and I would say something and I would go, damn, I really needed to hear that one too. So absolutely, the clients that it's not by accident. It's not by accident that all 63 of you that are watching me right now, not an accident that you're here right now. Nothing is by coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe that anything happens by accident. I think we are all intricately woven with that same cord. with the same energy. And I tell everybody that I vibrate at a certain vibration that brings certain people, that attracts certain people to me. In the last year and a half, the views on my channel went down really, really, really a lot, like huge percentages. And it bothered me a lot in the beginning of that, when that first happened. And I had this epiphany probably about a month ago. It dawned on me that not everybody is supposed to be in my vibration. I'm not supposed to share my vibration with if I had 54,000 views on any video right now, and I had all of that energy coming at me simultaneously at that time, during this time of my recovery, can you imagine how exhausting that would be? So I know that everybody is placed within like my life, within your life, within anything that's going on, for a reason. There's absolutely like no reason. And that's why we can't say that we've gone backwards, because I could easily be like, oh man, that sucks. That's like, I feel like I have to start all over again, which I've actually said, because that's what it felt like for a while. It was hard for me to accept that. It was very hard for me to accept that. And people kept trying to tell me in certain ways why it was happening, but my ego wouldn't let me hear it. I wasn't listening. I had to figure that out on my own. And so when you start to see people drop out of your life and energies drop out of your life, and you didn't really have any ill will towards that person, they just sort of disappeared from your life and you haven't seen them or whatever, it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because they're a bad person. It's just because your vibrational energy, your energetic signature is exactly like your thumbprint. And not everybody is going to understand it. Not everybody's going to be on the same vibration as you. And when you start to realize that, you can see that it's okay to not be a part of groups that you really, really, I used to want to be a part of certain groups my whole life. I wanted to be in the Girl Scouts. I wanted to be in the popular group. I wanted to be this. I wanted to be that. But I realized that like, I'm the kind of energy that not everybody can take. And that's okay. Like I'm fine with that, because if you can't take my energy, you don't get to tell me how I'm going to I'm not going to lower myself to get to where you are. Like if you can't take that it's not my problem. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything. It's just who I am. So keep that in mind. But yes, icing. Keep that in mind for sure. I've done that during tarot readings. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I love your name, Soap Opera Love in the Afternoon podcast. That's awesome. I love the name of that channel. That's fantastic. All righty. Yes, you can wish them well and move on. Absolutely. That's great. Oh, hi, Les. I love it. Hi. Being popular sucks. It is. And I mean, I didn't even think I was popular in high school until I realized that like high school, or even when I would go to I've been popular a lot in my life. And I didn't realize that because I always felt like I was like left out of the crowd, but it was because I was friends with everybody. I wasn't just friends with the popular people. I wasn't just friends with the jocks or the cheerleaders or the dancers or the nerds or the whatever, right? I was friends with everybody. So yeah, it was, didn't do signs. I just did one whole collective reading, and actually I'm going to have to go, but it was so lovely talking to you guys. I really enjoyed this. I'm going to do it again as soon as I possibly can. And go over and subscribe to the Love Soul Movement podcast as well. And this will be up for replay, so you're welcome to watch it. I love you guys so much. Thanks for being here with me. Have a wonderful Mercury day. Bye.